this is a quick introduction to SQL Package Manager, which is a project we're working on. It's in very early alpha. Why did we build this product? Well, our thoughts are that SQL should be treated as like a first-class language. So SQL code should be easy to like install, reuse, manage dependencies between SQL and SQL management dependency, versioning, testing, and like storing in a repository like Git. So Sqlpm was created to do all of this. So let's kind of see how it all works. So first, there's a command line we can use. And so why don't we generate an example package here. This is one we're actually going to use. It's called settings, and it contains helper functions for using PostgreSQL configuration settings. And if we do that, it'll run it, and we can see here that it has generated a bunch of stuff for us in this settings directory. The read-write is where the read-write database goes, like the master database, but if you had like a read-only database, then you could have a read. And in here we have our tests, our reset and run, and a little readme here that's generated for us. So let's look at here. We can generate our resources. We actually have some code already because we'd written this out somewhere else. So notice it put the schema settings here. So this is just a simple function that'll get a Boolean value from the current setting. We can test our code. So we have a test. So why don't we stick that in here? And then one thing that when the tests are run, the SQL Package Manager will actually, and we'll see this happen, it'll actually running a database. Over here, we'll just run it. Let's just start running it. Here's a database that's running for our tests. And then over here, we can just, let's save all our files. And we can run it. We can run our tests right here. We have a failure. That's interesting. What failed? Right here it says it looks like the schema is referenced. So there's some kind of schema error. Schema test does not exist. Reference package, no dependencies. And if we look over here, we can see that in fact there is a schema test. So let's reference that. We're using a monorepo. Stop our test. We're going to add this test PostgreSQL, which if we look over here, we'll see it's right here. Here it is, test. Here's a package. Oh, here's a package JSON for it and everything. So yeah, we can run this. There we go. It has now installed that package, that SQL package, into our new settings library. And if we run the test again, it passes. We have now run this test. And every time a test is run, a new database is created, the SQL script is run, including all dependent SQL. Our code is runs a test, and then everything is shut down. And there are options to keep the code around if you want to see what the code looks like when it's finally generated. And yeah, and of course now we have access here, and we can take this and we can commit it and use version bumping. So, you know, we can do a version bump, and that's it. This is like a complete end-to-end support development for SQL. Reusable, right? I mean, now we can reuse this SQL. Somebody else can use this.